Yo, yo, welcome to the second half. Welcome back, peoples. You got your boy Peaches over here.
Peaches, 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 peaches.
Organic and creamy.
And to the left of
And
Peaches,
to the left,
you have Sweeney Todd. Sweeney.
Sweeney.
And right across from Sweeney, we have...
Boy, Ryeboogie. Nothing special to it.
And today, our guest, Darrell Medellin.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Thanks for having me on.
Hold up.
Oh man. So rapper and entrepreneur based out of Union City.
Yeah.
Born in Cebu City, Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Some of your early influences in music and entertainment was due to your family.
Yeah.
Your grandfather, Rodolfo Ruby,
Yep.
was a radio host in Cebu.
Yes.
All right. His and your great grandfather was the late Vicente.
Yep.
Ruby?
That's my middle name too. Vicente, yeah.
Who composed that Filipino Christmas carol?
Yes, Kasadya Ning Taknaa, I think.
Oh,
No.
That sounds good.
You know what? No, we all need to try it now.
Yeah.
Kasadya ning takna.
Kasadya ning taknaa.
I'm not even gonna try because I'm gonna butcher.
You got to.
Kasadya ning taknaa.
There we go.
Oh,
There you go.
See? I told you.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
You gotta throw in that accent extra
Yeah.
thick.
Hey, I guess I got it then. I guess maybe.
See?
Yeah.
You guys seem kind of mad too. That's why I beat
Yeah.
you. Say it again.
No, no more. I mean, one and done. So Darrell, you fell in love with hip hop at an early age. Has been chasing your dreams since then.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Hip hop.
dreams.
So tell us some of your first rap influences and your favorite artists.
Some of my early influences was out of rap specifically was Biggie, Wu-Tang Clan, Mobb Deep, Nas, and as far as my favorite artist, my favorite rapper, Todd, is I'm a West Coast kid, right?
Yeah, but you're naming a lot of East Coast.
Yeah, a lot of East Coast rappers I fell in love with because back when last time I visited the Philippines when I was like 13, 14 years old. My uncle snuck in a tape in one of the Balik Mayan boxes, right? It was like a bootleg 8 Mile tape. It was like when 8 Mile and like Get Rich or Die Trying first dropped. I would say like Biggie and Nas are my two favorite artists because they were on there. Wu-Tang Clan, like Mobb Deep, all those guys. There was definitely West Coast like influences too, of course, like Tupac, right?
Your uncle from here snuck in?
No, from there.
Okay.
Yeah. There's like a black market called Carbone, which is not a black market anymore. So they actually turned it into like a legitimate thing. But he snuck in the CD, and we were slapping that all over, like mobbing around Cebu when last time I was back home. But that's when I fell in love with hip hop. I was like, at this very moment, I'm gonna be a fucking rapper or a music artist. And so I always try to emulate rappers like Nas, and then like kind of introspective storytelling. As of late, of course, I've been just making some player shit. But like I feel like I have a wide array of music that I make. Especially like all the producers that I'm cool with and I rock with. We make a lot of different shit, but it's Nas and Biggie, AZ. A lot of people don't recognize AZ or like really give him his proper flowers or dues because he never made it as big as Nas, but AZ is definitely one. 50 Cent is probably my number one influence though.
50 Cent.
50 Cent.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your number one album of all time?
Illmatic.
Classic.
Illmatic.
Oh,
Illmatic. Yeah. Illmatic. It goes for me. Illmatic, Life After Death, and then Get Rich or Die Trying. Those are my 3 top albums.
It's a good list.
I want to say I think it was my junior or senior year, whenever Life After Death came out, I had that as my alarm to wake up. It would just play.
That's a crazy ass song.
Life After That.
Yeah. What song?
Whatever was
playing.
I forgot. Someone gave me some radio, and you could use it as an alarm. And as soon as the clock hit, it would just play whatever.
That's fire.
Yeah.
I was just hypnotized.
And I'm not even. These guys know I'm not even big on rap.
Yeah.
I'm more of an R&B guy.
I'm more tripping off how you had access to that technology back then. Something that just played that through.
They were, technology was coming
Was
up
it?
back then. Yeah.
Was it hooked up?
It wasn't
to
an
like
8-track.
a Discman?
It wasn't an 8-track. I'll tell you that much.
My rap name is Darrell Medellin. It's kind of a play on words. Play on words with like the Medellin cartel, right? Because what I try to say basically is like I'm straight out the Medellin, right? Everything that I do is dope. Because he was selling dope and all that. Like I said in the previous podcast, I do not sell dope, never have, never will. But it's basically that, right? Like whatever I try to push out, every song that I have, I just gotta make sure it's dope. That's like the only rule in hip hop, to my understanding. From like I believe DJ Premier said it. As long as it's dope, as long as it sounds dope, like that's it. It's hip hop.
Right.
It's rap.
Yeah. So, outside of hip hop, what do you do?
I work a 9 to 5. I be on some just pee shit, just be mobbing around with the homies. Like I don't really like. I be going to right here. The homie John Boy's a DJ. I be going to the studio, kicking it with some females, some women.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. But also a businessman too. That's like I used to run a studio for 5 years. If it wasn't for music, I'd definitely be a businessman, an entrepreneur, right? I always try to get a dollar in which way possible, right? Something always on the creative side though, whether it's like merchandise, like for my shirts, shorts that I was selling, to like when I was even flipping shoes back then, because that's what my hustle was back in high school. Was I was flipping shoes. I'll be buying shoes, flipping them. That's just like how it is now. It's the game's weird nowadays, right? With
Different.
different. Yeah, right,
You're talking to a sneakerhead over here.
Yeah.
The game is costly.
Yeah.
You gotta spend money to
No,
make it.
exactly. You gotta have bands to buy $500 shoes. You can flip for $700 and all this weird shit. You got like.
You still doing the clothing?
Yeah, I still have merchandise coming out. I haven't dropped any new merch the past couple months, but I definitely do like sell my merch. That's what helps fund my music videos. So I always find like instead of me trying to come out of pocket for the music, which I still always do, right? I try to make merch to where like, okay, I got a $3,000, $5,000 music video I gotta shoot. Then I get some merch, try to sell 100 shirts, which most of the time I still end up doing because I got a community behind me, right? It's before the viral shit, it was always community. I was still selling 500, or like not 500, but 150 shirts, 150 hoodies. But that's what funds the music. I try to have that. Yeah, I'm trying to have something else that can sustain that. Yeah, I put a little money here, but instead of me coming out of pocket out of my like regular check where I gotta pay rent, I'm gonna have something that has something to do with the music, and fans and community and my friends love it, and that helps fund that thing, to offer a service or product that can help fund my dream or fund something visual that's dope.
And there's some branding to that too, right?
Yeah. Right now, I used to run an independent label back like 5 years ago. Steelo was one of the artists. He's a DJ and dope ass producer. It's called After Hours Records, but that's now defunct. Ain't fucking with a couple of cats from there, but yeah. Aside from that, I ran that studio. So it's always been like somewhere of like a business kind of standpoint when I look at stuff.
Yeah.
And then back as a kid hustling too. That's why I'm like try to always like implement some business or somewhere I can do something where I could fund something that I want to do.
Right. Where did that influence come from?
From hustling or being a businessman?
The hustle.
The hustle? 50 Cent. No. Yeah, or like, yeah, I just looked up to a lot of rappers, and I looked up to a lot of like older homies and like OGs that I had that would hustle too and kind of put me on game. Like I had an OG. Y'all heard of Kiyomi, the artist? She's from Union City.
No.
She's a dope ass artist, by the way, singer. She's from Union City too. She's based in LA, I believe now. But her dad actually put me on to selling shirts back in the day. And that's shout out to my OG homie, the older head, Jericho. He used to, I used to work like at a KFC, right? I was working in drive-thru in KFC, and he'd be like, hey, little homie, what was that? I got a box of Niner shirts. It just said Niner Gang on it, right? This is when Kaepernick, Alex Smith was running the Jim Harbaugh, and I'd just be flipping those shirts and he giving me for a good price. And then what is that? Basically like a cosign, right? I like, give me these box of shirts, you could pay me like $10 per shirt. After you could sell them for 30.
Yeah.
And I was be able to do that and just flip those shirts, make some money that way. While I was still at work, I'd be flipping the fucking shirts in the drive-thru. Yeah. Like that kind of shit.
There you go.
So it's always been about business, all about money, and that's like a lot of my homies too. A lot of my homies just entrepreneurial mindset. Actually, I forgot to say this. My childhood friends and his wife, my homegirl, are opening a cafe in Union City this Saturday. Max by Icky, right there in 3900 Smith Street.
What kind of cafe is this?
It is a Filipino influenced cafe with Filipino desserts, Filipino coffee. They have ube cannolis.
There's macaroons. Huh?
Yeah.
Macarons.
Yeah. Macarons or macaroons. I don't know how to pronounce it. Just like
What do you say address one more time?
3900 Smith Street, Union City, California.
That's a plug right there.
Yeah. That's
a homie. He comes on the podcast to plug another homie.
Yeah, if you need a tattoo, my brother my brother Jay Boogie in San Jose, KT Dragon. But yeah, I always try to, big up and always talk about my folks. Like, that's what it is, community, right?
Yeah. Networking community.
Yeah.
That's right.
I feel like that's what life's about, is community, right?
That's right.
Need that third space, right? And then just link up with homies like this. This is the third space, right? Not just at home or work, where you can actually commune and link up with people, and then that's life. That's the joy of life. That's what I think.
I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, with where we are right now, like we grew up in the '90s. The '90s was mean, right?
It was mean.
Yeah.
He didn't really have. I mean, there were some people that put each other on, but it wasn't. It wasn't like it is now. I feel like everyone can come up now because people are so much more supportive of each other now.
Yeah. Not a lot of hating like it was.
Yeah.
You were born in Cebu. When did you get here?
I got here when I was 5 years old. Got here when I was 5. I was back and forth every summer though. Up until I was like 13, 14 years old. And I haven't been back since. It's been over a decade.
You said 13 was the last time?
Yeah. It's been over a decade that I've been back to.
So you don't speak Bisaya anymore, right?
I don't, but I understand it fluently.
Do you speak Tagalog?
I don't. I failed Tagalog in high school. But I do understand Bisaya fluently. So if somebody speaks to me in Bisaya or Binisaya, right, I understand I can have a conversation, but I'm speaking to you back in English.
Right.
Yeah, instead of like, back in Bisaya. But I don't understand any Tagalog except for the cuss words. And like,
that's like me.
Yeah.
You gotta know if they're talking shit about you.
Yeah, that exactly. But I know like when people talk shit about you in Spanish, in Indian, in Afghan, like I at least know the cuss words for every language.
Yeah. So speaking of community and networking, being a collective, what do you think about Bay Area rap, specifically Filipino rappers in Bay Area rap? What does that feel like? What does that scene feel like right now?
No, it's dope. I mean, you got Pilo, and then shout out to Pilo for hopping on that remix. Shout out to Pilo for hopping on that remix for Lemonade Freestyle. That was big love right there. Big love. I just, quote retweeted him because he tweeted a lyric, and I asked him for a remix, and then he hopped on, man.
That's dope.
He's like, send me the open verse. Right on P, man. It's a real one. He's always like reaching out back to the community too for like upcoming Filipino artists. What, you don't even gotta be Filipino, but like he does like his stuff. People don't gotta do, right? It's not something like that's you have to do to reach back, and he does, which is dope. And then there are a lot of upcoming Filipino artists that are really dope, and a lot of them I'm already hella cool with. Like my brother Zaldi Water, last name's too big, but they put it as Water for his rap name. We got a lot of dope producers and DJs, of course, right? Got a DJ right here, and producer DJ right there, Stilo. Shout out to Nico. That's one of my main producers there too. He lives in Vegas right now. But also like as far as the community too, I fuck with a lot of rappers who are not Filipino too, or like a lot of people in general. Just like growing up in Union City, everyone I grew up with was not Filipino. It wasn't sectioned off. Everyone, like my neighbor would be Indian or Vietnamese and Pali. Like I grew up with every single person. Right. So there's a lot of artists, but also a lot of just like genuine, real people that I'm still friends and cool with to this day. But as far as like Filipino artists, there's a lot coming up. I know Doug right here. Doug knows a lot of Filipino artists coming up. Man,
check it out on the playlist, Doug.
Yeah, Doug got the playlist for sure. But
is there like this this mindset you got to keep about like being a spokesperson for your Filipino community, but also not being like labeled specifically just as a Filipino rapper?
Yeah, man, I hate when people say he's a Filipino rapper or he only raps about Jollibee, and I'm like, bruh, that's the only reason why like I got to this point, right? I went viral because I did that, but like I say, like I rap like Nas on the regular, right? Like that's who I try to emulate, Nas, J. Cole, who I listen to the most. But when I started making stuff like that, it kind of gave me more attention towards the Filipino community. A lot of good, and a lot of bad too, right? A lot of people send me death threats, whatnot. And then,
Death threats?
oh yeah, I was getting death threats for Lemonade Freestyle when it first went viral. Yeah. But I tell them, come see me, man. Fuck around, find out. Yeah, fuck around, find
Ain't
out.
that serious, y'all. Death threats.
But they were
Hip-hop.
from, it was people from the Philippines too, so which was crazy. What? But yeah, it was some actual Filipinos from the Philippines that was giving me death threats. Like, you know, TikTok would delete them, right, on like an automated deletion, but you would still see the notification. So when I wake up and like I'm getting 1,000 comments, and then like I'm like, oh shit, come to the Philippines, we'll murder you. I'm like, oh, okay, fuck, all right. I'm like, okay, fuck y'all. Yeah, and then got some, and then I was getting death threats and like Instagram messages and shit too. Like,
You on that we gon' see shit.
Yeah,
We gon' see.
we gonna see. Yeah, I ain't like y'all. I'm gonna fight. We can figure something out though. But
We
yeah.
gotta congratulate our peoples, man. This is doing a good thing.
It ain't that serious. Fuck that.
Yeah. But as far as like pushing like the Filipino community, I always like, I want to say that I'm Filipino, right? I want to put on for my peoples and want to help other Filipinos. But just like coming up from Union City, just growing up with so many different like cultures and so many different types of peoples, like every street is like a Mexican name, right? In Union City, like Alvarado is like the barrio I grew up around, right? I was growing up with so many different people that I want to put on for people, for Filipino people, for sure, right? Because I am, but also want to put on for everyone else that don't got a voice, right? So my Sikh homies, my Afghan homies, the Mexican homies, like that, poly homies that don't get a voice to get out and then want to say something.
Because that's what hip hop is. It's universal. It's
Yeah.
like you listen to Lecrae.
I do, and that's crazy because my homie just got nominated for producing Lecrae's one of Lecrae's last songs.
Yeah.
Tyler Coolidge, which Doug knows.
But he's dope. But I bring him up because he actually said that a few years ago, probably longer than a few years ago. But he said, "I'm not a Christian rapper. I'm just a rapper that happens to be Christian."
Yeah.
Right. And it's the same.
Yeah.
I feel sometimes with Filipino rappers, you get blackballed and everyone
Turns
thinks
out
you're
Filipino,
Filipino.
yeah.
You're a hip hop head.
Yeah.
First off.
Yeah. I would definitely want to get that point across before I start dropping the music and visuals, right? I'm like, nah, it ain't just about Filipino shit, right? I'm gonna incorporate that, but I'm a rapper first that happens to be Filipino, right?
Right on.
So speak to us about your.
Man,
That's good that you got to think about it.
yeah, damn. Because I don't feel like I'm in a yeah. Nah, 'cause
Sometimes we ask that question and it's like, "Oh, I was at the car wash."
well, I don't really
Bust a moon.
I don't know if I'm proud of myself yet, because like I feel like there's so much I want to accomplish, right? It's just I feel like a ball player, right? It's like that Super Bowl, I need that ring. Like there's a lot I really want to accomplish to where like I don't want to look back at what I have done yet. Of course, I celebrate it in the moment, like take a shot, let's do this. But I always tell people, let's keep moving forward.
Let's reframe that then. How about the moment that you feel you couldn't get to, but you did get to it, and now makes you want more?
Oh, when I went viral. I'm like, okay, cool. Because I planned it. with the homies, right, in the studio. It was January 2nd, 2022. I was like, all right, let's sample fucking Jeremy Passion.
There was strategy to that?
There was a strategy. There was like, I did, from that point on when we made the song, we dropped it like a few weeks later, right? I tagged Jeremy Passion. And then shout out to Jeremy Passion. He cleared that sample right away in the comments. Shout out to Jeremy. Man, even though I don't like Filipinos to play with lately, but another subject. No, but
we too close to Vallejo, bro.
Yeah,
we like you in the ukulele.
Man, but yeah. But it was definitely like months of me planning the music video, and then with the homie Kiko. Shout out to Kiko, really dope director. He's also like Pilo's video guy, and he does like a lot of other artists too, right? But there was a lot of strategizing. I was on YouTube University, just on YouTube for 2 to 3 hours a night before I went to sleep, studying algorithms for TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. YouTube didn't work at first, then Instagram didn't work at first, but then TikTok did. And I was posting on TikTok every fucking day, 5 times a day. And then it was at like a couple days after my birthday in July, went fucking viral. I woke up, I was like, oh fuck, I'm going viral right now. This shit crazy.
That's dope.
Yeah, I was like, shit, yeah. It was dope.
It's dope how cerebral you were about that, though.
Yeah, everything, it was definitely intentional.
You did it in stages
Yeah.
with intention. That's it.
Yeah, you just gotta keep going at it. It's just like, damn, I never quit posting on TikTok because the music video came out in April, and I was posting the video and like other shit every fucking day till. My bad if I'm cussing too much. I know we supposed to.
Nah, it's all good, man.
This is an adult podcast.
Yes, let's go. Let's take a shot to that. No.
Oh, we could do that.
Oh,
know,
cheers,
take a
cheers,
shot,
cheers,
man.
cheers.
Oh, where's that?
Hold
Where's
on,
that
we're gonna wait.
ball?
We're gonna wait.
Oh.
Gosh,
We're gonna wait. But what is that? We yeah, I posted every day. I was doing like research every day to get to that point, and then that's when shit just changed to where like. But the crazy part was like before I went viral, I was already doing shows. Just got a community and just like out of love, right? Yeah. I was still getting booked. I was still be able to open for people. And big shout out to Brick and Mortar in San Francisco. Shout out to Gerald and AJ, cause they gave me fucking 3 opening slots right before I went and had my own headlining show over there.
Okay.
Right, but I do love opening for other bigger artists, right? Cause that's like gives you time to prep. It makes you, it humbles yourself, right? Cause I ran through that circuit of where like. I'm opening for a lot of people and I'm like the first or second person up, even though I'll bring 30, 50 people to the fucking show. Right. And it was dope though. Was
there a difference between, let's say your first 2 shows at Brick and Mortar going viral and now your last Brick and Mortar show? Was there a difference?
Yeah, because last 2 times I've been at Brick and Mortar, I've been headlining, so
nice.
Which was dope. It was it feels good because you're kind of running the show. You kind of calling the shots on like the artists, and like I'm over here putting on my homies, right? But then of course they gotta get approval by the venue, like, hey, do we have enough listeners or like enough fans? Can they pull that kind of stuff?
Right. One more show, you'll be like, I'm Darrell Medellin. I want that Fiji water, some fucking watermelon sour patches after this shot. About what you got coming up. I know you got a show in Vegas coming up, so tell us about that.
So I got a show in Vegas, March 1st. With the homie Mason, co-headlining with him, and I'm bringing out a couple other artists from the Bay with me. Of course, my brother Zaldi Water, and then we're also still looking for a Vegas opener, a local artist, because the other one had to back out for personal reasons, right? But we're looking for another opener over there in Vegas, but especially Filipino if you can find one. But yeah, shout out to Mason. He signed to Golden State Entertainment, to the Warriors. Man, March 1st, the Space LV. It's gonna be a fun show. Hopefully a lot of Vegas can come out. I think it's a 400 person venue, so
dope.
400 to 500. So hopefully we get a lot of people out and then get it cracking.
There you go.
There you go.
Nice, man.
Well, Vegas, wake up. He needs a opener. You need an opener.
Yeah, I need another opener from Vegas, local artist. Because Mason lives out there in Vegas. Okay. So I'm trying to get another artist out there from Vegas.
You also got a video shoot coming up.
Yes, got a video shoot for my song Bia with Stilo and Dre Who. Already shot one day. We got like 7 days of shooting. Yeah, we got a few more scenes to knock out.
Okay. Anything else people listening and following or about to follow should know about Darrell Medellin?
A lot more music coming out. A lot more visuals. A lot more dope shit. Let me say, like, 2023 was kind of, I wouldn't say off year, but I didn't have as much content I was pushing out. And I know a lot of people would, like, a lot of artists, right, hate the word content, right? Because, like, oh man, why do I gotta make content? If I'm like an artist, people should just, it should be dope. But it's not the 90s anymore. I was discussing this with my homie in the home. Where, like, it was different back then where, the only thing you see of Wu-Tang Clan for 6 months was them on a magazine cover on the Source. Yeah. But now, if Wu-Tang Clan was trying to come up today, they got to drop 100 videos in the same week, right? For them to kind of get attention. So a lot more content, a lot more stuff. Just trying to get out there more, and hopefully a lot more shows because that's my favorite thing to do is just be on stage performing.
Nice. That's dope, man.
Yeah. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
I'm not doing it in front of anybody. It's just
we are now.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different. So that
for you,
but for you to perform in front of hundreds of people,
man,
that's really sick.
Yeah, do you get those little butterflies or stage frights or anything like that anymore?
I used to. So I actually have been open about this past few interviews I've had. I actually have been diagnosed with general anxiety disorder. So I've had anxiety, right? But the crazy part is, when I hop on stage, I have zero anxiety.
That's your safe spot.
Yeah. It's like when you don't think, right? When you don't think, you don't have anxiety. It's like when you hoop, when you play basketball, and then, or you're like when you're boxing, or you're like working out, when you're in a place where you can't think and just act on instinct, right? That's when you don't get it. Of course, I got better. My anxiety is way better now. It is right, but like I get more anxiety being in the studio. I get anxiety in the studio because I'm like, man, like I said, like I just be on some P shit. Like I like being outside. I like doing shit. I like hanging out with my family. I like hanging out with my friends. I like doing stuff like this. Like being in the studio making music. Usually, I just like, all right, man, I can knock out fucking 3 songs in 30 minutes, and I'm like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah. I'm like, I'm cool. Let's go eat. Let's go drink. Let's go hoop. Something like that. I just like being outside.
Check this
song.
out.
Yeah.
This is your song, bro.
This is my song.
So, you know, as a project, I've been listening to you for the last 3 weeks.
Thank you.
This is the dopest song. This is my personal favorite.
Thank you.
Walk us through the song.
Like, this is my favorite, one of my favorite songs too. Probably a top 3 song of mine. Man, this just came from a place of like, I'll say like desperation, right? I was just felt some sort of way, and then I wrote it. There was like 10 different remakes of this song. But man, it's hard to describe. I just love this song.
Yeah. I fucking love this sound, bro.
Thank you.
I've been playing this song every day.
Thank you, man. See, I'm like, I have different, like, there's so many different songs and sounds I make. I don't know if that works against me, right? To where like it's not the same as like, you know, the song that went viral. Like, I have a song which is like, sounds like this, sounds like some Roddy Ricch shit or like some Nipsey shit. And then I got a song that's on some like West Coast shit, and then I rap like I'm Nas or Biggie in one song, and then I just made a house song a couple weeks ago, like just like making whatever.
I actually feel that works for you because like when I listen to an album, you think about it. If someone sounds exactly the same on that whole album, then you got maybe 2 you're listening to.
Yeah.
If someone sounds different, like on every other track, then you're listening to like half the album.
Yeah.
It's a difference in how many songs someone's gonna listen to when they pick up that LP.
Yeah. I got that from Jay-Z when I was listening to on Reasonable Doubt. He has a song called 22 Twos where he switches up the flow every 2 to 4 bars.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, bro, like I don't like rapping the same way for a whole 16 or 20 that I'm rapping, right? Let me try to switch the flow up every 2 bars. Let me switch the cadence. Let me pitch my voice down, low, mid, something like that. So it's definitely an intention to everything. Like whenever I'm writing, I still old school write because I was born watching motherfuckers write on a notepad. I don't write on my phone, only when I don't have a notepad with me, right? Yeah. I still write, so it helps me build a structure of the verse to where like the first bar coalesces with a 16th bar. Yeah. And then where I could tell a story about, if I don't tell a story and it's just on some player shit, I could still make the flow switch where it doesn't get boring, in my opinion.
Right. That's dope.
Or to my ear, I mean.
Like I said, I'm not a rap dude, but I'm gonna have to start listening.
It's good.
Yeah,
man.
you gotta catch it.
Start with that one.
Start with that one right there.
I'll fuck with R&B though, so I know they were telling you he's like an R&B guy. Yeah, I fuck with R&B tough though.
That's him.
Absolutely.
He turns all our rap songs to R&B.
Yep, every single one.
He's got clammy hands though. He is really.
It's like my brother. It's like my brother, and he actually, I should hit his ass up. He actually lives in like Brentwood area. I don't know how far that is actually here.
It's like 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Oh shit, I should hit him up. Pull up. He's actually does like jiu-jitsu now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, tell him to come through.
But he's always shout out to my brother Marion. He's always been into like R&B and shit, you know, with the ladies. You know what I'm saying? You got the wifey and the kids now, but like, he's always been R&B, right? Yeah.
Well, right on, bro. Well, we appreciate you coming through, man. Again,
absolutely.
You got that video coming up. Come check out Darrell Medellin in Vegas.
Vegas, be ready.
March 1st, Las
Vegas.
At the Space LV. Slide through.
Right on.
Right on.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Medellin.
Yup.
Medellin.
And we're about to get into some topics right now. One of the topics I wanted to get into was this Katt Williams on Club Shay Shay.
Yeah.
And man, there were a lot of names dropped during this interview, and I just want to dive into it because he's one of those comics or one of those people that he don't get a lot of credit, or people always have something negative to say about him, and I don't know if he's being blackballed if what he's saying is true, but I've seen a lot of videos where all these other celebrities are backing what he's saying. I just want to go around the table. I know I didn't go and introduce who's here during this discussion, but to my right we have
Peaches.
Peaches, 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 Peaches.
Organic and creamy.
And across from me I have our boy
Ryeboogie.
and to the left of me we have our boy,
Darrell Medellin.
also known as,
D to the motherfucking one.
there it is. So D1, give me your insight on Katt Williams.
Man, I fuck with Katt Williams because he was telling his truth and he was rocking jokes too.
Yeah.
But the people that got mad at him didn't come back out with jokes, right?
Nah.
So there was, man, if you a comedian, right, and you getting roasted by another comedian talking and you coming back over here like, what is that? Oh, none of this is truth and shit. That's just straight bullshit. You should be, kept it like a comedian does and just come back at him with jokes and roast him. He's over here just being hella mad.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed, you know how when you're younger and someone's trying to roast you, or if they're telling lies that could partially be true, you get super defensive.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to say, no, he's fucking lying. But there's some truth behind it, right?
Yeah.
When you see some of these interviews with some of these celebrities that he named, they come out with that same energy.
Yeah, to be
right? Like there was that one with Steve Harvey. I saw this video.
Man.
And Steve Harvey was just super defensive.
Yeah.
He straight up shook up Black America
Yeah.
in 3 hours. So first off, that was a 3-hour interview. That was a long ass interview. And I was telling you, I'm like, how drunk were they that they just kept going?
They kept sipping.
I'll tell you right now.
I kept hearing the bottle.
If you watch it, he's tipsy. I don't think he's drunk though.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
think he's
he's got that
cross-faded.
comedian tolerance too. So I don't think he's drunk. But I searched this up because this is one of the funniest things I heard from that interview. And he was talking about Jonathan Majors. He said,
Man.
That was hilarious.
This right here cracked me up. I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors. You can be Kang the Conqueror, and then it can take your route ass down in 2 weekends.
That's fucking crazy.
But he was clowning
Yeah, watch out for the white women,
way
yo.
he looks and everything, right? He was clowning on the way he looks, and he was like, yeah, they flipped the narrative to make him look like he was something sexy.
Yeah.
And I was like, just so that they could snatch him away.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. The one that really hit me though is what he was saying about Kevin Hart. That shit's a trip. It's an eye opener, but it's a trip.
Yeah.
Right.
But I
The
also
whole plant
saw
thing.
a video of Kevin Hart getting interviewed with Tiffany, and same thing. He was super defensive, and he was firing off, and I'm like, I mean, I heard.
But he's at a point. He could be defensive because if you're a plant, you wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
How would you know?
Yeah. They're like, you know what, we're going to put this guy in a position and make him super lucky, right? Like,
Right.
you know, I'm a strong believer in, like, you got to make your own luck. But, you know, things are falling into place a little too good. I wouldn't necessarily call him a plant because he, you know, probably is a hardworking person. But there is that certain type of comedy, certain type of, you know, look that, you know, people want to play Hollywood.
It's manageable.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah. Right? Because he's not talking like how Katt Williams is. Like how Dave Chappelle is or was, right? Yeah. And you know his jokes are mild compared to Dave Chappelle, Richard Pryor, around Katt Williams type.
Yeah. I just saw the video this morning of that accusation or his claim on when he confronted or he roasted Steve Harvey at a comedy battle.
Battle.
Yeah. Did you see that one?
I
That
did
was
not see that.
crazy.
I didn't see that.
Everything that he said.
Yeah, it's
He
true.
went in.
It was there. He
And,
went
and
in.
really, he didn't even go in. He just said facts.
Yeah.
Nothing but
Yeah, if
facts.
you're just saying facts in a funny tone, I mean,
Yeah.
like,
But that's his tone,
yeah.
right? That's
But I get what you were saying though, like how like, cause I was like that too when I was younger. Like, you know, somebody roast you, but it'd be like a fat joke, right? I'm a big dude, and then you know I'd be like, man, fuck you, you know what I'm saying, like that. But you know now you get back, you know, I learned later on in life, you know, you got roast back, like be like, oh, you're hella fat, fuck you. I was like, man, you're hella ugly and shit. Yeah, you got it from your mama, like that kind of shit, right? And then I mean, but they were just getting hella defensive.
Yeah.
They wasn't even trying to crack jokes.
No.
Yeah, Luda come back with a freestyle, but what he said about Luda with the pointy sideburns was funny. There's only one person that had one pointy sideburn. And shit. That shit.
But
was
every
hella
time
funny.
he gets accused of something, and he's Katt Williams, like, oh, you do drugs, you do this. When he during interviews and he answers, he's so calm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like, you believe what you want. I know my truth.
yeah.
And
He don't look
yeah,
like him.
I go to jail. Why? Because they just want to put me in there. But I know I'll be out. He's never been convicted of anything.
Yeah.
I do know this. When they had that on Club Shay Shay, whoever the fuck was producing Shannon Sharp shows, just like keep that shit rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because really,
the show.
that he was going off. He was like, no, we're not gonna
His
stop.
most watched video, bro. He got hundreds of millions of
He
views.
did.
It hasn't even been a week, right?
No.
And now you're cutting it up into shorts.
It's the biggest
Yeah,
one.
It's the biggest
It's
one.
the biggest
It's
one.
crazy. You got to bring more people like that.
Yeah. He does this post thing with Ocho Cinco, and I was listening to that this morning, and yeah, it was exactly what you said. He said, "Don't cut anything. I don't know if I'm supposed to cut them off.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but whatever. We're just gonna keep it going.
Yeah.
And keep it flowing. That's why it was 3 hours.
I mean, you can't because he's obviously he's been in the industry for a while as a comedian, as an actor.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
not infiltrated, but he's been in circles that most of us will never touch, right? So you know, I mean,
Yeah.
just fucking.
What about you, Peaches? Did you see it or listen
I
to
didn't
it?
watch it. I only listened to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I was distracted because I was trying to listen to it while I was at work and everything, and I was just like, "Wait, what did he say? What did he say about this?" And then I was like, "Damn, how many drinks is that?" I was wondering in my head. I was like, "How many damn bottles did they go through in this
They
show
didn't finish
for
a bottle.
3 hours?"
They didn't finish a
It
bottle.
was, man.
They were pouring.
They kept pouring. I know they cut it off, or they cut off drinking for like a cool little minute or whatever, and then I think Katt said, "Oh, I'm gonna have another one of these real quick," and then he went in again.
Yeah.
Speaking about so I was like, man, he just kept on popping off names, and I was like, oh damn, is that right? Now I got to hear this other side. I need to hear it. So I mean, it was entertaining for sure.
There
For
was
sure.
one guy that wasn't defensive. That was Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan just said, "I'd love to have him on. If he wants to come on, let's make it happen." Because he was
Heck
saying
yeah.
how Joe didn't want to have him on the show. He had like certain comedians he favored.
Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah.
well, fuck, Kelly wants to come on. Come on. He's the one.
Yeah, and Joe Rogan
Yeah.
get that bag too from that
Yeah.
podcast.
Exactly.
He's no, get him on.
Yep.
Seeing Shannon Sharp
But
numbers,
I,
like yeah,
I
yeah,
do
yeah.
believe like what he said about there's groups, right? So, like Kevin Hart, Steve Harvey, all those guys, Cedric the Entertainer,
Yeah.
they
Tyler
have their
Perry,
group.
all that,
Yeah,
yeah.
they have their group, and whoever gets put on, as long as they're part of that group, they're gonna get put on.
Yeah, it's nepotism,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I feel like if I was in the same position, we too, right? If you know what I mean,
You put your people on.
Yeah, if you put your people on, right? If I'm cool with you, I mean, even
But
if
like
you
he
just-
said though, the gatekeepers.
yeah, there are gatekeepers,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
That's what he referenced them as. the
But that's kind
gatekeepers.
of that's where
true.
there's duality to it.
Yeah, it is a
right?
duality,
Because
yeah.
why aren't you in that group? Why aren't you in that circle?
yeah.
He said it's because I don't want. I have my values. This is what
Yeah,
I
you don't want
wanna
to
do.
sacrifice though.
Yeah, he didn't want to sacrifice any of that stuff.
Yup.
He didn't want to wear the dress. He didn't want to change his look.
Yeah.
He wanted to have his lines. Like, this is how I know it's going to come off. Originally, it was supposed to be a rape scene in Friday After Next.
Yeah, Friday. Yeah.
And he was like,
Yeah, I ain't with that
"Nah, I
shit.
ain't doing that."
Yeah.
So, but moving on. How
Well,
about-
I would never agree to a rape scene.
No, hell
Yeah,
no.
no.
and it's supposed to be comedy. Rape is
Yeah.
never, and like you said,
Yeah.
rape is never funny.
No, exactly. That
Yeah.
shit is never funny.
As a
that
raper
shit.
or rapist. Or rapee.
Not associated with that. But moving on to Dreamer.
Oh man, I
you
haven't,
didn't
I
see
haven't
that?
seen it. No, I haven't seen it
You
yet.
Dreamer? No. What,
That's Chappelle's latest special.
no, I have not. I have not. I seen Joe Coy on the Golden Globes though, so.
I want to touch on that a little bit too. I do want to touch on that just a little bit, but before we move to that, I know you saw Dreamer, and I think we have the same opinion. But I
Well-
want to hear your side first.
So the opinion I have, first and foremost, Dave Chappelle is probably one of the most intelligent people representing our generation, right?
Yes.
Not just as a comedian, but he's an intelligent dude. He's
yeah.
fucking smart. That said, I really don't think he should have done this. This was really just a summary of his last two, and it wasn't anything new. It really wasn't funny.
It was lazy.
It was not funny.
It was lazy.
It's exactly what he called it out to be when he called himself a lazy comedian. That's what it was.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't have to go that deep into it, but I thought it was lazy. I thought he was just living off of his name. Like, you know what? I'm gonna put something stupid out, and I bet you, it's still gonna get the views.
Get viewers, still
Yeah.
get that bag from Netflix.
Yep.
Well, but that's I thought of that.
Yeah.
Because
he has that
it's
contract.
Probably
Yeah.
part of the
It's-
contract.
yeah, it's part of
He
the
had to put
contract,
one out.
He had to put one out.
He's like, fuck, I got two more to go. Knock out this one, then I'll do a good one, and then
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm
Shit.
thinking the last one will probably be the one that's like, oh, okay.
there better be more jokes.
That's the real Chappelle.
30
right
minutes of setup.
Yeah.
But when he breaks from the contract, then he's gonna come up with
Yeah.
like his own. Because that's his style, right?
Yeah.
It's usually-
That's it is.
But yeah, go back to Joe Coy.
Now
wanna
I've
hear-
just seen a lot of people hating on Joe Coy. I mean, like, hey man, like, I'm not like neither a hater nor like a supporter. Like, shout out to his mom though, because I was on a radio show with Joe Coy's mom.
Oh, nice.
Hella cool, hella sweet. Shout out to Tita Josie. But I actually thought one of those jokes was actually hella funny, the Taylor Swift joke, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like it was just like a bunch of bad timing, bad delivery. But if you're on the stage with those many like celebrities, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to deliver.
Yeah.
Right? And you're on the clock. And plus like it's a bunch of,
And they're calling
That's what it was.
audibles.
But it's also
That's what his
he didn't do
stand-up
all
is
the
about,
writing.
though.
Yeah.
He does call out the crowd.
Yeah,
in
he
all his
does,
stand-up.
right? Yeah.
I mean,
But
It
they're
was,
calling,
it was
it's
a
a-
fucking
but during
weird.
a production,
Yeah.
they're calling audibles on him too. So
Yeah.
that's
They
tough.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
tough,
that's what
yeah.
a lot of people probably don't know, right?
But they should have known.
He wrote
by,
some of his jokes, but a
Yeah,
lot
a
of
lot
his
of-
jokes were written,
Yeah.
and he had to read off the teleprompter.
Yeah.
And he was kind of reading that stuff like, I can't. That doesn't even sound like me. I'm gonna say this, but then I'm gonna say something else.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Yeah, those are I wrote those jokes. Those are the ones you're laughing at."
Yeah.
Or he changed them on him.
Or you
Yeah.
change them. Yeah, Audible, you know, you gotta, sometimes you do, like sometimes when you're on stage, you gotta change something, but especially that, you're on the clock too, like you're on a time 3-hour, like
Yeah.
set, right? You got your own opening monologue, whatnot. And then, you know, yeah, you are like designated towards Filipino Americans, and people are really cool with Filipino Americans. I know a lot of people say like, hey, he's really one-dimensional, really talks about his mom and like all that kind of shit. But, like, hey man, like he's still like got his own movie, bro. Like he's
That's,
still like,
that's his
working.
environment, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he's just-
I
yeah,
don't
exactly.
think he's one-dimensional. If
I don't
you
think so
really,
either.
yeah, if you really
That
listen
Taylor
to
Swift
his
joke was
comedy-
good.
Yeah,
That shit was
if you
hella
really
funny.
listen to his comedy,
Yeah.
he touches on everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
I honestly think just for the fact that he made there's really no way you could hate on it if you're an Asian American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just even Filipino, but if you're an Asian American, when was the only time
Yeah.
ever?
Yeah.
That
I'm not gonna hate on it. I'm just not
Yeah.
gonna fully support it, but I ain't gonna hate on it. Right?
I
Yeah.
just hope that this doesn't like
Just being
burn 'em.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? That's what's up. Like you got on there, like you're a Filipino that got on stage, and you just even take the
100%.
American part out, right?
Yeah.
You're a Filipino hosting the Golden Globes, like one of the biggest stages for like artists and celebrities and like actors, actresses, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you might have bombed a few jokes, but I do understand. The only thing I didn't like, that I really did not like, was when he threw the writers under the bus, especially after having a writer's strike. That's what like kind of like, oh man, that's kind of fucked up. But I do understand though, if you had an audible some jokes and you had some jokes, I'm like, fuck man, I can't. I mean, they're kind of filling out the crowd, like they probably are doing that kind of shit, right? So that's understandable. If there's like writers that you don't hire for yourself, there's writers that the Academy or like Golden Globes hire for you, right?
But they only put him on like 10 days before, so
Well,
it's
I did not know that, so that's crazy.
not. So they were desperate for a host
Yeah.
because
And
they.
he had to rely on the teleprompter
Yeah.
even more.
You probably didn't write a lot of those jokes then. A lot of those jokes are probably just like for the writers from the previous comedian.
Yeah.
Right?
They
And they
knew he
maybe.
was gonna go off this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if he
and
went
that's
off the
why-
teleprompter and just started
Yeah.
talking shit, oh man, that'd be.
Yeah.
They should have just let him talk shit.
They
Yeah,
should've.
exactly.
But that's what I'm saying. I hope this doesn't burn him or hurt him. You know,
Yeah.
like
It won't.
I mean,
It shouldn't.
it shouldn't. But
It
you
shouldn't,
just
man.
you never know.
It won't.
Right? You
It
never
won't,
know.
depending on how the community supports him. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
again, if you don't have nothing good to say, just being different. That's what I
Yeah.
would say about it. Because it was like when Barack got elected to president.
Yeah.
You may not agree with him, but just being different because it was just a stepping stone,
Yeah.
right?
Boom, boom, bam, bam.
You feel me? I got the switch, but nah. No, man, I really do believe in everyone having a right to carry. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially to protect yourself. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. There's a lot of racist people out there, you know, that don't like you. You never know if someone like, I mean, wasn't there a story of just like this dude like pulling out a fucking gun? It was an Asian dude too. Like, not even to bring shit out, but he pulls out a gun on like a 6-year-old kid. I just see that fucking headline, right? And I don't barely watch the news. I just scrolling through Twitter and I'm like, oh fuck. I mean, sometimes if you're a parent, like, fuck, bro, like, you just pulled a gun on my kid, I'm gonna go back over there and shoot your ass. Right. Didn't do that, anything like that, by the way, but, you know, but yeah, I mean, like, if I was, and I would, like, that's some straight bullshit. You have the, you know, the right to protect yourself, but at the same time, like, there needs to be a lot more, I guess, like, regulations, especially with some crazy ass people that be shooting up schools, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that shit's crazy.
Yeah. Well, every state has its own gun law, right? I mean, of course, there's the right to bear arms. That's a federal law, but then every state governs that. Do you think there should be a federal law with stronger governance over guns, gun management, gun licensing?
I can't even speak on this too much.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm torn.
Yeah,
honestly, I know there there's a reason to have one, but I know for me there's more of a reason not to have one or not to carry, because I mean, I'm old school, all right? I'm old, so why can't you just use these to settle your differences? At least you'll live to
see another
next
day,
right?
I feel like that. I mean, I feel like that, but I also agree with D1 here. I don't really like guns, but at the same time, I'm not going to stop carrying because I know, like, all my neighbors are carrying.
And that's what
So
I mean.
it's tough. Like, you got to level the playing field.
Right.
Yeah. You don't know. It's like somebody could just be on some crazy shit, right? You don't know if somebody's had a bad day and then just starts fucking tripping out and goes to your work, or, you know, you're at your workplace or something like that, or you're in a shopping mall and then people just funking or some dumb shit. It could be the slightest thing and it just triggers people, right? That's why, but at the same time, like, we shouldn't be in a paranoid state like that, right? We should never be in that state where, like, oh man, anyone could be carrying a gun, anyone could run up on me. But that's just the reality of, like, you know, where we living in, right? The world we living in right now.
Yeah, it feels like that's the world is chaos.
Especially the last 5-6 years. I mean, we've been through some political chaos. We've gone through a pandemic. You know, it's been frenzy and chaos.
Yeah.
Right. So I think, honestly, I think, well, one, the NRA, one of the biggest lobbyists there is, right? But I think gun sales, whether legitimate or illegitimate, probably drove up.
Oh yeah.
I would find it hard to believe that it went down in the last few years.
Even if you tighten up the laws on guns and everything, everyone could just get their hands on them.
Yeah,
anyway.
anyone could just.
I mean,
You're
it's
gonna
just
sell them out of
just
the back
gonna,
of trunks.
yeah. So it really doesn't.
You know.
I mean, it matters, but it doesn't matter. I guess because
maybe just
You know what it is? You just should
It's-
have laws that encourage guns. I mean, because you're right. You know, you can try to tighten up, but unless, like, you confiscate, how are you going to confiscate?
Yeah, you can't.
Register?
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
can't do that, right?
yeah.
Oh, you pulled it out. Let me take that from you.
But you
Hold on.
can't. You can't have laws that, you know, like Florida, Texas.
Yeah.
You can't have
Yeah.
those laws. Right?
Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
Not everyone. can just
Motherfucking
carry.
AR-15 with banana clip, like, come on, man, that shit's crazy. It's GTA in real life.
Exactly.
Really, and GTA 6 is in Florida, so yeah. That shit is
for real.
crazy, man. Yeah, like, I mean, yeah. Nah, I'm like neutral on it, right? Like, I feel like everyone, you have the right to get it, right? I mean, just protect yourself if you think you need to protect yourself. But there's a lot of people that need to stay far away from guns, man.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like angry people who got a lot of shit that's not resolved within them. A lot of mentally unstable people that never went to therapy or a psychiatrist or something like that.
That's a good point.
Cannot be near guns. Like, and then a lot of times, a lot of people just need to get their ass beat. Like a lot
That's
of
what I
times
mean.
people, yeah. Like y'all, we're in the gym right now, we're in the boxing gym, right?
Why can't
Like,
people just carry boxing gloves, right?
Yeah.
Well, but that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like you
Let's settle our
should own a gun.
differences.
You should own a gun to protect your home.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
there's really
yeah.
no reason to carry it out on the street.
Yeah.
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 Right? I mean, I have 3. I don't carry them.
What if you want free coffee?
What if somebody challenged you to a duel? Like, it's just crazy. On guard. Oh, fucking
Duel.
Challenge you to a duel.
Yeah.
All right, let's move away from that then. Two types of reparations, right? Obviously, African Americans during the slave trade seeking reparations. That's always been up on the table. Also, Native Americans seeking reparations for having this land stolen. How do you feel about that now, present day 2024? Do Native Americans have reparations?
Some sort. Yeah.
I mean,
not 100%. They still live on like ghetto reservations, right?
Yeah, I would say the reparations that they have were more like
crazy.
Systemic. It was more of like a designed systemic oppression to keep them even more isolated. Yeah, we'll give you sovereign land, but then give you nothing.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know if that's necessarily reparations.
The ones that did have cash-built casinos.
Exactly.
Right,
like they gave it to like each tribe or a group of tribes would have like certain access, but really there's only like maybe 2 or 3 families running it, so not everyone's getting it.
Yeah.
Right. Like you think about the Native Americans over in Arizona, right? That govern the Grand Canyon, because like 2/3 of the Grand Canyon is Native American sovereign land. Those people live in poverty, but at the same time, everyone's paying what, $40 for a fucking pass?
Yeah, to watch look at the Grand Canyon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
where they get their bread from that, right? That's just crazy.
Or those casinos that are there as well, they get none of that. So like their system's broken. How do you feel about that?
That's fucked up. I honestly never gave it a lot of thought.
They don't even have running water in
It's
most of
fucked up.
those native lands.
Wow. Yeah, I honestly never gave it a lot of thought. I've just been too wrapped up in my own shit, trying to have my own running water, you know?
It's real.
I don't think it's fair. But I think they do deserve something. As far as the...
But from who? Because that's the question, right? From who do they do that?
Yeah, I know.
Man, I want to say some crazy shit right now.
Who's gonna fund that?
Man, if we gave $10 billion to fucking war, then why can't we fucking fund reparations? I believe in 100% reparations. Anybody that's been enslaved, indentured servitude, whether it be the African Americans, Native Americans, even the Irish that were doing indentured servitude right back in the 1800s, 1900s. I totally 100% believe in that. But at the same time, for the root of reparations, right, is it monetary gain even enough when you still have people that are going through the shit, going through how like Oakland and Detroit is, right? Like, I don't think monetary gain is enough. It's got to be a whole systemic fucking change.
So that's actually a valid argument, because that's how I feel about it. I don't think you just cash someone out and just be like, all right, we're cool. Like our generations are cool. Your bloodline's cool. It's more like
money's not gonna bring nobody back that died.
It's more like legacy, like affordable home loans, right? Give them a house, give them a way.
Yeah, give them a house. Give them a house.
Give them a house, and that's it, man. I mean, jeez, there you go. And then
stop having racist cops. Stop having redlining, all this kind of shit, like all that crazy shit,
redistricting. That shit has to stop.
Yeah, all that. Start there. It's all systemic, right? Like, I mean, I feel like 100% you do deserve something back from what your ancestors gone through. Like, people forget, like, redlining is only like 56 years ago. Fucking civil rights was only 50, 60 years ago. They're so like that. People's argument was like, slavery was like 200 years ago. I was like, man, shut the fuck up. There's still people from the civil rights era still alive, right? I mean, like,
even 200 years ago.
Yeah, 200 years ago was not that far, right? Like, man, like, you ever notice like they put like civil rights shit in black and white? Well, there was color, like there was color photos back then, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just like intentional. I would say like erasure of history, right? Making you think it was that long ago. Like, brother, race riots was in the 90s. Like, that shit is crazy. Like, Rodney King was in the 90s. It was 20, 30 years ago.
Oh, man.
So it's like there's definitely me personally. I can't speak for my black friends, my Native American friends, or like my Mexican friends. Like, they lost their land too a few hundred years ago, and like and whoever else has been like oppressed. Like, even the Chinese people is working on the railroads. Like, Filipinos and Mexicans in the fucking in the fields, right? Everyone deserves their own justice, but at the same time, monetary gain, in my opinion, is nothing if like it doesn't change for the next generation.
Yeah,
and that's the difference. Like, you can't just do it. Again, it's almost like having someone flip like a Louis bag, flip that Louis bag, but you're gonna spend it on something else.
Yeah, what
you
Kendrick
gotta
say?
give him something generational.
Kendrick said the Louis belt ain't gonna ease the pain.
No.
Like that shit, it's not gonna bring the dead homie back. It's not gonna bring your grandma back. It's not gonna do that.
Right.
Like that shit. In my opinion, I know this tequila's starting to hit.
I mean, but this
yeah.
is why critical race theory is important in schools.
Oh,
First of all, it's
absolutely.
not a theory. Right?
It's not a
Like,
theory. It's real shit.
It's real. Like critical race
it's
life.
real. Yeah, it's his
basically.
life. Like, you know what I mean, like.
So we can start from there. Maybe
Yeah.
really, don't rewrite history, but maybe just tell the narrative as is, and then explore more permanency when we're talking about reparations. Like you said, no cash value, but like something more permanent that extends towards legacies.
Man,
To the Bay.
what happened? Bringing it
Back
back
to
to
sports.
the Bay.
Draymond and the Dubs rebuild.
Damn.
So first off, Draymond.
I'm happy he's back. He's
Did he play tonight?
I don't know if he did,
I don't think so.
but
Check the-
Look at it.
yeah, look it up.
Check the
If,
score.
we won, he might have played.
He did not play. But we won though.
So
We won though.
These guys laugh at me. He's laughing because I still believe in our team still, It's like a marriage, right? You can't just it's for better for worse, not for better. You know what I mean? So you got to take the good with the bad. I mean, I'm riding it until the wheels fall off.
It's just really bad right now.
It's a long season.
Hey, John, what
It's
you
a long season. It is a really long season, right? We haven't even gotten to the midway point of the season. We still have the trade deadline. They could still
Yeah.
make a splash in that. And then they have the All-Star break. After that,
Splash.
I'm gonna bring it back to what I've been
You push.
saying since we started talking about them last season. Until they figure out their identity, they're kind of just lost.
Yeah.
Mediocre at best. Chasing an 8th spot, maybe, but that's it because
Yeah.
they
They're-
haven't figured out who they are.
but their identity was lost because the whole Jordan Poole thing, right?
Yeah.
Which he was partially, partially a catalyst for.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like
He's at
We-
fault for that.
He is. But at the time, we didn't know that. It wasn't until this year that it was like, oh, you are the reason why
I think we could have.
our season was like,
Could've
you
figured
see
it
his
out.
plus the way
you
it
see his
was.
plus minus right now for the season?
It's the worst.
Yeah, his dead last is minus 342.
I saw on
Yeah,
Instagram,
as the first
is he the
option
new
on the
JaVale McGee of this era?
Yeah.
And it's like,
I don't want to talk shit about him because really, first of all, with athletes,
Yes,
like
yeah.
we should have empathy for them.
Like shout out for the championship.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no,
Like,
I-
he
100%.
He was definitely part of our big three. He's
Yeah.
part of, he's Dub Nation forever, right?
Right.
But at the same time, to your analogy of staying in a marriage for better or for worse, there's also staying in an abusive relationship, right? And for them to continue to rock with him, that's kind of staying in an abusive relationship by choice.
Yeah.
They gotta, one, to support the identity switch, they gotta part with him because of that. They gotta move on from that.
Yeah.
Probably Clay too, as much as that breaks my heart.
Yeah, I don't want to see Clay go, but
did you listen to Draymond's podcast? Because he released his first episode.
No, and I told you I'm not gonna listen to it anymore because
I thought he was sincere.
because he always justifies himself in each
no,
podcast.
He's not justifying anything. He's owning up to what he did, and there's no but.
Sure.
There's no but. It's I did it. I'm working on myself.
I like that
to
he
be
said
better.
that he owes it to the organization to do
Yeah.
better, but he owes it. He does, and he
Yeah.
does. Draymond, I love Draymond. Like I'm not a Draymond fan.
Yeah.
I just think there's some shit
just
going
mad at
on
him.
there. I'm not mad at him. I can understand when a grown man is going through something.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go through it with him. I need that team to be a team. Like they're an organization. They need to be solid.
Spinning back fists and shit and chokeholds. And
Yeah, that shit is.
mid game.
That shit is not.
I feel like I mean
That's what he did
Yeah.
though. He took it.
No, year.
yeah,
I
but
don't know
I
about
do
the year.
also
Year.
do think
I
like
don't
Jordan
know
Poole
about
was acting up.
Oh,
Man.
man,
That's,
Jordan
that's,
was
that's,
acting.
yeah. That's some young motherfucker shit, right? Like
Yeah.
acting a little like, oh, you got the bag now. You shot for $140 million, and then. I mean, you helped the team. You're the third option, or damn near second option, right?
Yeah.
And won the championship.
He wanted to be the
Should've-
first option.
should've been
Wanted
the
to be the
first.
first option.
He was being groomed to be the first
Yeah,
option.
But he wasn't patient.
yeah. He wasn't
Yeah.
patient, and then like the way he plays, yeah, exactly.
And he got knocked out.
He got knocked
knocked
the fuck out. Fucking real.
Yeah, because
like,
Draymond was like, "Look, man, you ain't gonna be patient."
Look, I would have
Boom, go
been
to sleep.
cool. Yeah,
Boom.
I'd have been cool just Draymond socking him, and we just heard it. But we watched the video. I'm like, God damn, he slept him. He slept this shit, right? I'm like, fuck.
With a running start.
Yeah,
That's where this came from.
Yeah, that's what Steph like. Oh fuck, we won that.
He did the
shit.
club punch.
Like Jordan Poole was a jackass.
The club punch.
Oh man. But the night came from Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm just kidding.
Draymond gave him the old school club punch.
But the Dubs, like in totality. I mean,
Yeah.
what are they? What do we need to do?
I think they're gonna trade Wiggins because Wiggins is not. I mean, we got a championship out of Wiggins. He was a one-time All-Star, but to be honest, I think it's time to get rid of Wiggins. I think we should keep Kuminga. I honestly think we should keep Kuminga. I want to keep Moody, but you're probably gonna have to use Moody as a trade piece, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. If you had to choose Pods or Moody, who
I'm
you?
keeping Pods. I'm keeping Pods.
See, I'm
Pods
just
is
saying.
baller.
Pods or Moody? You
I
keep
fuck with
Pods?
I'm
Pods.
keeping Pods.
you.
Pods is arguably the second best player on the team right now.
That's because he's just getting run.
Yeah,
If
he's
you give-
finally.
if you
Yeah,
give Moody
that's
some
what.
run,
Okay,
That's
but
why
when
Steve
he's
Kerr pissed
getting
me
run, is he fucking up?
That's why
Albert
Steve Kerr
Hustler?
pissed me the fuck off.
Exactly.
So,
Pods is not
yeah.
fucking up.
That's fair.
You give Kuminga some run. Kuminga was fucking up.
But
Kuminga's gonna fuck up all the time.
But so what about
That dude is,
Pods?
what is he,
So
20
how do you
years old?
explain Pods?
Really quick. That's
How do
really
you
quick.
explain Pods?
That's fair about Pods. But can you keep
Pods had more.
Can you keep Kuminga, Pods, or Moody with Kerr? Knowing what's
I
developed.
think you
over
can
the
keep
last
Pods with Kerr. The other two, it's a toss-up. Right?
Yeah.
Moody right now is so frustrated
Yeah.
because he's been professional. He's been patient. When you plug him in, you don't question why he's in.
yeah,
You question why he's being sat down, though.
yeah,
Right?
When you plug him in, he drops like
No,
15,
exactly.
20.
yeah. That's what I'm
But-
saying. Yeah.
But they were way more patient with Kuminga. As far as
he
like
grabs boards.
no, what I mean is
Yeah.
Kuminga will fuck up, right?
Yeah.
And then they'll sit him. But he's still getting more playing time than
Yeah,
those
yeah,
other
yeah. You're
guys.
right. You're right. He's still getting more minutes
Yeah.
than Moody, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, yeah. I
So
understand.
Moody's
he
like,
got
I'm
this
not
thing.
even fucking up, but you guys
Yeah.
are sitting me down. Kuminga's fucking up, and you guys are still playing him.
And look, GP2 is injured, and you can't have Moody out there. Like, come on, man. Chris Paul is injured. Like, you have Steph, Clay, Pods as your guards, right? Why isn't Moody getting more run in the 2 spot, right?
I
He
think
should be
Moody's
able to
dope.
get.
I mean,
I think
look
he
at
is dope.
Look at that,
But I
that
think-
game. Look at was that against Sacramento when he hit like 3 threes straight? That he
And then they
pulled
sat
for
him?
nothing?
Yeah.
That was-
Then they pulled.
I was
Fucking
fucking
weird,
mad. I was
right?
hella fucking pissed. Like, that shit, yeah, that shit pisses me off,
Kerr.
man.
So
No, I think it is, bro. I think
is
he's a
Kerr.
little too. I think
Kerr.
Steve
Kerr
Kerr
leans
thinks
too heavy on
He
his
doesn't know how
vets.
to
Yeah,
He's too.
implement our players at the time we need.
it's like Mark Jackson
leans too heavy
trained
on
these
his
guys,
vets.
right?
Like,
Mark
even
Jackson.
if we keep all of the people that
Yeah.
we're talking about right now, and Kerr allows everyone to have their piece on the floor,
Yeah,
they'll find teamwork, they'll find chemistry,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
He's not
maybe we'll
patient
get a
enough.
few. Maybe we'll get a few more wins.
It's-
I mean, even the who's it? Trace Jackson Davis.
yeah.
I love that kid. That kid is he's
Yeah.
bro.
He's
He's hustling. He needs
It's
he
like
needs
you just need playing
PT.
time.
It's like the argument I was telling you about Bob Myers, and no disrespect to Bob Myers, but he's not as great as he's been presented. I think a lot of it just fell to him. I mean, you had Curry, you managed to get lucky in that 2012 draft, landing Clay and Dre, and Harrison Barnes to a degree, right? But at the same time,
man.
when you're too connected to your players, such as Kerr,
Yeah.
you can't coach. You can't GM. You can't coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can't coach objectively,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
what you see. You see leadership. You
Yeah.
see like a fucking rookie like Moody hit 3 threes. You pull him out, and you're like, oh, Draymond, I need you back in. Why?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Yeah. No, exactly. Like, what I think is like, yeah, Steve Kerr's a really great coach. We got 4 championships with him, right? He got 5 on his own, right? But you inherited this fucking team and the defense with Ron Adams from Mark Jackson, right? You did not raise these guys into the players they are. You were the one who turned into a championship team, but you were not the one to raise these guys. That's why I have an issue with Steve Kerr getting all these young players, right? Because he's not the guy who will fucking train them or like grown to be a professional or like to that height where Steph, not even Steph or Clay, just to even like a good role player.
Right.
You're not that guy to be doing the rookies like that. You're like somebody put in place to win a championship, right? He's not like how Bill Belichick was with Tom Brady. He's not.
I feel like
wasn't
he walked in and he was gifted a Ferrari.
Yeah, exactly. He just knows how to drive it well, and then got to the finish line.
Yeah,
like that's what it is. Like Mark Jackson, that was Mark Jackson's defense, and him and Ron Adams, right? And Ron Adams stayed. Yeah. Ron Adams stayed after, right? And kept that defense.
He was the architect of that defense for a long time.
Right. That's why we could run small ball.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's what pissed me off. Like, yo, I'm 100% thankful Steve Kerr won 4 championships with the Warriors, right? But man, like you got to think of the other generation. You're not looking like Greg Popovich right now.
Yeah.
No.
You're looking like Phil Jackson.
Greg Popovich. That's what I said. Yeah. He's not Greg Popovich.
Even though he studied under him, even though his assistant coach Greg Popovich raised 3 generations of players. Like, it's fucking crazy. What is that?
He's not.
Well, he didn't draft David Robinson, but he got Tim Duncan, right?
He knew what to do with him.
Yeah, Manu Ginobili, Parker, Kawhi Leonard, now Victor Wembanyama. Mm-hmm. Even though that's another story too. Yeah, they got the fucking power forward running point guard in San Antonio.
That's tough. Yeah, but it actually makes the case for a coach like Eric Spoelstra. Because that's a generational coach. Like he's an organizational coach. Yeah. Well, I mean, like Spoelstra, Riley, Popovich, right? Those are Belichick in football. Those are coaches you build your organizations around.
Yeah, you just got the 8-year extension.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. What was that 8-year extension? 140?
That's some player
like
shit.
140 million,
that's some
right?
baseball player shit.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And they waited until after he was divorced.
Exactly.
Right after the divorce.
Right after that, he was like, "Hey, you gotta wait.
Yeah.
That was in the contract.
That was in the
Two
contract.
more weeks.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys.
When it's final, you get
it's good.
When the ink is dry,
yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
So
that was